Welcome to the Cocktail Spirit from Small Screen Network. I'm your host, Robert Hess. Harry Craddock, as we've mentioned before, was a bartender in the United States. And for Prohibition, he was out of a job, so he went to England, got a job at the Savoy, and there became the head bartender and famously wrote the Savoy cocktail book. This next drink, the Young Man cocktail, is a drink that we believe that he invented early on in his career at the Savoy. It's a fairly simple drink. Let's take a look. We start off with 1.5 ounces of cognac. A 1/2 ounce of sweet vermouth. And a dash of aromatic bitters. Now, if we just stop there, this would essentially be a Manhattan made with cognac instead of whiskey. But then we're also taking and adding 2 dashes of orange curaçao. Now, orange curaçao, remember, is very similar to triple sec. The difference, though, is that orange curaçao typically will have a brandy base as the spirit and maybe sometimes some extra spices inside of it as well, where a triple sec is simply sugar, orange oils, and grain neutral spirit. So it's just a sweet orange flavored alcohol liqueur, whereas orange curaçao I like to think has almost a slightly more rustic sort of feel to it. It's got a little more character. In some drinks you want that character in it, and some drinks you don't. Obviously, just using a couple dashes, that character of the orange curaçao is not going to come out. Instead, a little teeny bit of sweetness and maybe a little teeny bit of the orange in the background of it. So I spray ice all across the bar. Oops. Now notice here, like I automatically grabbed the Hawthorne strainer I'm sticking in here. Notice how it doesn't fit very well, and I said, oh, that's the wrong one to use. Instead, that's what the julep strainer is for. Garnish it with a couple cherries. These cherries are ones that I made myself, getting some dried Bing cherries down at the Pike Place Market, soaking in the brandy just a little bit to kind of reconstitute them slightly. They don't plump up like a real cherry, so they're still kind of like a raisiny sort of thing down there. But I think they're excellent cherry to use in your drinks, just for something a little bit different. Now, if you're used to something like a Manhattan, which is using whiskey, which has a lot of depth and flavor to it that's coming through, you have to remember that the cognac is a softer sort of beverage. It doesn't have that same level of character. So this is a softer, gentler version of kind of a Manhattan. I could easily see this as being a stepping stone, perhaps. Someone that maybe doesn't think they like Manhattans, use something like this to get used to some of the other flavors going on, the sweet vermouth and the bitters, and kind of see what they taste like, and then introduce them to a Manhattan. But overall, I think it's an excellent cocktail, kind of booze forward with just a little teeny bit of sweetness in the background to it. So an awful lot of things to provide. And there we have the Young Man cocktail.